Everyone at Ridgewood High remembered the moment the hallway went silent, that single, sharp slap echoing off the lockers like a warning shot. No one expected her, the quiet girl who moved like a shadow and spoke like a whisper, to react. No one expected the bully, 17-year-old king of the school Derek Mason, to scream. And absolutely no one expected to see his elbow bent the wrong way when the teacher rounded the corner. But the true story, the real story, didn't start in that hallway. It began long before the slap, long before the scream, with a girl who spent her life learning how to survive without ever being seen, until the moment she chose not to hide anymore. Maya Clark had perfected the art of invisibility long before high school. She walked quietly, breathed softly, and made herself small, like a ghost moving through every room she entered. At Ridgewood High she became that girl, the one who sat near the back, scribbled poetry in the margins of her worksheets, and ate lunch alone under the staircase near the art wing. Teachers liked her. Students tolerated her. But no one knew her. Not really. What people didn't know was that behind her silence lived a storm. Maya's father, once a gentle man full of stories and soft laughter, had changed after the accident. His grief grew sharp edges, and Maya learned early to read danger by the shift of his footsteps on the floorboards. She learned to move out of the way before he entered a room, to brace for the slam of a door, to swallow her fear because crying only made it worse. Her mother worked 2 jobs and loved her fiercely, but love couldn't be everywhere at once. So Maya taught herself how to survive, how to endure, how to fight without ever raising her hands. The only place she felt safe was at Mrs. Thompson's after-school club, an informal group for students interested in self-discipline through movement. Everyone assumed it was some calm meditation thing. In reality, Mrs. Thompson, once a professional martial artist, taught girls how to defend their bodies and protect their peace. Maya learned wrist locks, balance control, and how to turn someone's strength against them. She learned that even small hands can break chains if they know where to press. But Maya never wanted to hurt anyone. Strength wasn't for violence. Strength was for survival. Yet survival in high school came with new enemies. Derek Mason, loud, arrogant, and swollen with entitlement, made a game out of intimidating weaker students. He shoved kids in the cafeteria line, blocked hallways, threw pencils at younger freshmen. But for some reason, he loved picking on Maya the most. Maybe because she stayed quiet. Maybe because she never looked him in the eye. Maybe because bullies sense weakness like wolves sense blood. One rainy Thursday afternoon, Maya was gathering her books when she felt a familiar presence beside her. Derek smacked her biology folder out of her hands. Papers scattered across the wet floor. "Oops," he said with a smirk. "Your fault for being in my way, Mouse." She knelt to gather the papers. He stepped on one deliberately. Something inside Maya tightened, fear, anger, exhaustion, a knot pulled so tight it began to fray. She whispered, "Please move your foot." He laughed. "Make me." Her heart pounded. Her palms sweated. But she stayed still, like she always did. Because fighting back only made things worse. Or so she thought. That moment, though small, planted something inside her. A seed of change. A thought she never allowed herself before. "I don't deserve this." She walked home in tears. That night, while her father shouted at the TV in the next room and thunder shook the windows, Maya practiced the wrist lock sequence Mrs. Thompson taught her. Her eyes didn't reflect fear anymore. They reflected decision. The next day would become the moment no one at Ridgewood High would ever forget. Friday morning. Third period had just ended. The hallways swarmed with students moving in every direction like a restless river. Lockers slammed, conversations overlapped, and teachers tried to shout over the chaos. Maya walked with her shoulders curled inward, hugging the wall as she always did, hoping to slip by unnoticed. Derek Mason spotted her. He was still irritated after losing a game in gym, and he wanted someone, anyone, to take his frustration out on. And Maya, with her quiet footsteps and lowered gaze, looked like the perfect target. "Hey, Mouse!" he called, loud enough for surrounding students to turn their heads. Maya froze. Before she could finish a breath, Derek stepped in front of her. His friends circled around like a pack smelling entertainment. Maya felt the air tighten. Her pulse hammered. Her vision narrowed. Derek leaned in, mocking. You gonna talk today? Or stay mute like the freak you are? She didn't answer. That irritated him. He slapped the notebook out of her hands. She bent down to pick it up. That irritated him more. He grabbed her chin, forcing her to look at him. Don't ignore me. Maya's breath hitched. Her chest tightened with the same suffocating helplessness she felt at home. The same helplessness she'd sworn she would never carry forever. Her silence made him angrier. He slapped her. Not hard enough to knock her down, but hard enough for the sound to split the hallway like lightning. Students gasped. Some froze. Some whispered. No one stepped in. But Maya did something none of them expected. She stood up straight. Slowly. Deliberately. Her eyes met Derek's, not with fear, but with clarity. A sharp, unshakable stillness. He scoffed. What? You gonna cry? His hand lifted again. Maya moved first. One quick step in. Her fingers hooked around his wrist exactly where Mrs. Thompson taught her. A twist, not violent, just precise. Derek laughed at first, thinking she was weak. Then he felt it. Pressure. Sharp pain. His elbow wrenched into a lock he couldn't break. What the? Let go! She didn't. She shifted her weight, small, controlled, trained, and with one firm motion, she brought his arm down and twisted. A crack echoed. Derek screamed. His friends stumbled back in shock. Students dropped their phones. The hallway erupted in chaos. Derek fell to his knees, cradling his elbow in horror as tears sprang to his eyes. The teacher rounded the corner at the sound of the scream, and froze at the sight. Maya standing still, breathing hard but steady. Derek crying on the floor. Everyone staring like they just witnessed myth turn real. Maya's voice was calm. He hit me. The hallway went dead silent. For the first time in her life, Maya wasn't invisible.